As the dust settles from recent global financial shifts, one thing is clear: the BRICS intra-bank system is not just a fleeting trend. It's a transformative force reshaping the landscape of international finance. Countries that once felt sidelined by Western-dominated institutions are now banding together, creating a powerful alternative that challenges the status quo. With emerging economies like Brazil, India, and China leading the charge, this coalition is redefining how trade and investment flow across borders. So, what does this mean for the future of global finance? Join us as we explore how this bold initiative is shaking the foundations of the World Bank and the IMF, and what it could mean for you. Chapter 1. What is the BRICS Intra-bank System? The BRICS nations have been vocal about their desire for reform in international financial institutions. They argue that these institutions often prioritize Western interests, leaving developing nations at a disadvantage. This sentiment has fueled calls for a new financial architecture that is more equitable. So, what exactly is this intra-bank system? Simply put, it's a collaborative financial framework designed to facilitate trade and investment among BRICS nations without relying on traditional Western banking systems. Imagine being able to conduct transactions worth billions without the oversight or fees imposed by the World Bank or IMF. This system aims to do just that by establishing a network of banks that can support intra-BRICS trade in local currencies. This initiative is not merely about convenience, it's about sovereignty. By using local currencies instead of the US dollar, BRICS countries aim to reduce their vulnerability to currency fluctuations and geopolitical tensions. Chapter 2. The impact on global finance. Now let's talk about the real impact. The introduction of this system has sent shockwaves through global finance. It challenges the existing order established by institutions like the IMF and World Bank. How this could affect you? If you're an entrepreneur or investor, this shift could mean lower transaction costs and fewer barriers to entry in emerging markets. The BRICS nations are also exploring alternatives to the US dollar for trade settlements. This move could reduce reliance on a single currency and provide more stability for countries facing economic sanctions or volatility. In fact, recent estimates suggest that with the expansion of BRICS, which now includes countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Egypt, the bloc accounts for approximately 37% of global GDP. This significant economic footprint enhances its bargaining power on the international stage. Chapter 3. The response from Western institutions. Now, how have the World Bank and IMF responded? Initially, there was skepticism. However, as BRICS continues to grow in influence, these institutions are starting to take notice. The IMF has acknowledged that emerging economies need more representation in global financial governance. This acknowledgement is a significant shift from its traditional stance and indicates that BRICS is forcing change at higher levels. Moreover, recent discussions within the European Parliament emphasize the need for political dialogue with BRICS countries individually. The EU recognizes that further engagement is essential to understand this evolving landscape better. Chapter 4. Recent developments. Let's look at some recent developments. In 2024, discussions about expanding BRICS membership have gained momentum. Countries like Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates officially joined at the beginning of this year. This expansion has sparked debates about its implications for global governance. With these new members, BRICS now represents nearly 46% of the world's population and a substantial portion of global trade. Additionally, recent reports suggest that BRICS nations are working on creating their own development bank to fund infrastructure projects without relying on Western capital. This move could lead to increased investment in developing countries and foster economic growth. The establishment of such institutions reflects a broader trend where emerging economies seek alternatives to traditional funding sources dominated by Western powers. Chapter 5. The future of global finance. What does this mean for the future? The rise of the BRICS Intra-bank System could lead to a multipolar world where power is distributed more evenly among nations rather than concentrated in Western hands. This shift will likely encourage more countries to seek alternatives to traditional financial systems, promoting innovation and competition. As BRICS expands its influence, it also opens doors for other nations interested in joining this coalition. Countries like Malaysia and Turkey have expressed interest in joining BRICS as they see it as an opportunity to enhance their economic prospects while reducing dependence on Western-dominated systems. Now it's time for you to weigh in. How do you feel about these changes? Are you excited about a financial landscape that offers more options? Or do you think it poses risks we should be wary of? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you find yourself daydreaming about becoming an international financier while sipping your morning coffee, who knows? Maybe one day you'll be part of this new wave. Chapter 6. The role of technology. Let's not forget technology's role in all this. The rise of digital currencies has been another factor contributing to BRICS' ambitions. Countries within this bloc are exploring central bank digital currencies as a means to facilitate trade and enhance financial inclusion. For instance, China has been at the forefront with its digital yuan, which aims to streamline transactions and reduce reliance on foreign currencies. This digital currency could potentially allow for cross-border transactions within the BRICS framework, making it easier for member nations to engage in trade without the need for intermediaries. Moreover, the use of blockchain technology can enhance transparency and security in financial transactions. By leveraging these innovations, BRICS countries can create a more efficient and trustworthy system that benefits all member nations. Chapter 7. Economic cooperation beyond banking. The BRICS Intra-bank System is not just about banking. It also emphasizes economic cooperation in various sectors. The bloc has been actively discussing collaborations in areas such as energy, agriculture, and technology. For example, energy cooperation is crucial for countries like Russia and Brazil, which have vast natural resources. By pooling their resources, these nations can negotiate better terms for energy exports and imports, ultimately benefiting their economies. In agriculture, BRICS countries can work together to enhance food security by sharing technology and best practices. This collaboration can lead to increased agricultural productivity, benefiting not only the member nations, but also contributing to global food supply stability. Chapter 8. Challenges ahead. However, it's essential to acknowledge that the BRICS Intra-bank System faces challenges. Differences in political systems, economic policies, and cultural contexts among member nations can create friction. For instance, while China is pushing for a more assertive role in global finance, other members like India may be more cautious about how much power they cede to a collective entity. Balancing these diverse interests will be critical for the long-term success of the BRICS initiative. Additionally, external pressures from Western powers could pose challenges. The US and its allies may attempt to undermine BRICS initiatives through sanctions or diplomatic efforts aimed at isolating member nations. Chapter 9. The future of the World Bank and IMF. As BRICS continues to grow in influence, what does this mean for traditional institutions like the World Bank and IMF? These organizations may need to adapt to remain relevant in a changing global landscape. One potential outcome could be a push for reforms within these institutions to increase representation for emerging economies. This change could lead to more equitable decision-making processes that reflect the interests of a broader range of countries. Moreover, we might see an increase in competition between these traditional institutions and new entities formed by BRICS. As more countries seek alternatives for funding and support, the World Bank and IMF will have to innovate their offerings. Chapter 10. Global reactions. The rise of the BRICS Intra-bank System has garnered attention worldwide. Some Western analysts view it as a threat to the established order, while others see it as an opportunity for greater global cooperation. Countries in Africa and Latin America are particularly interested in aligning themselves with BRICS initiatives. Many see this as a chance to diversify their economic partnerships and reduce dependence on Western nations. In contrast, some Western governments have expressed concern about the potential implications of a stronger BRICS bloc. They worry that it could lead to increased geopolitical tensions or even economic rivalries that could destabilize regions. Chapter 11. The Role of Youth and Innovation. As we look to the future, the role of youth and innovation within BRICS cannot be overlooked. Young entrepreneurs and tech innovators are driving change, leveraging technology to create solutions that address local and global challenges. Initiatives like startup incubators and tech hubs in countries such as India and Brazil are fostering a new generation of leaders. These young minds are exploring fintech, renewable energy, and sustainable agriculture, aligning with BRICS goals for economic growth and self-sufficiency. Their contributions could redefine the economic landscape, ensuring that BRICS remains at the forefront of global innovation. So, what do you think? Is this shift towards a more multipolar world something we should embrace or fear? Could we be witnessing the dawn of a new financial era? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into global finance, don't forget to hit that like button. As we wrap up our exploration of the BRICS Intra-bank System, it's clear that we are standing at a crossroads in global finance. The rise of emerging economies is reshaping how we think about money, trade, and international relations. With technological advancements paving the way for innovative solutions and increasing cooperation among member nations, the future looks promising yet uncertain. The question now is, how will you navigate this evolving landscape? Whether you're an investor looking for opportunities or simply someone interested in global affairs, staying informed is key. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the evolving world of finance. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new today, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into global trends that could impact your life. What are your predictions for the future of global finance? Let us know in the comments.